few words about this gospel. The hometown of Nazareth, Jesus' hometown. Today, it's a large city. It's the largest city in Galilee, which is the northern province in the state of Israel. The state of Israel is very small. Perhaps from Santa Barbara to the Mexican border, that's the size of Israel. And Nazareth is up in the northern part. About 1,000 people, 10,000 people, no, 100,000 people live there today. About 90% are either Muslim or Catholic. About maybe 10%, 5% are Jewish. There's a large Catholic population there. About a third, or maybe a little bit more, are religious people, Christians, and a large community of Catholics. There's a huge basilica there by a famous fellow called Barlucci, which is the synagogue built over the place where you had the Annunciation. In the time of Jesus, it was a small hamlet, perhaps 200 or 300 people. So everybody knew who Jesus was. Don't we know who he is? He's the son of Joseph. Don't we know his brothers and his sisters? And in the Gospel of Luke, this is the beginning of the public life of Jesus, the first time he makes a proclamation. And his proclamation is from the prophet Isaiah. He is sent to bring liberty to captives, to set the blind, to give sight to the blind. And he makes this proclamation about his mission, not wishing, because of their faith, to do miracles. They drive him out of his hometown. He goes to Capernaum, which is 25 miles away today, but the way they walked a shortcut, it was about 15 miles. And he goes to Capernaum, and that becomes his new hometown. In the Gospel of Luke, he will never return again to Nazareth. The power of the moment is that Jesus, in the Gospel of Luke, in the first proclamation of his mission, is rejected. And he's rejected. He goes through this extraordinary rejection from the people of his hometown. And there begins the mission of Jesus. In humility, in losing the community of his hometown, that's the beginning of his mission. Therefore, his mission is not to the powerful, the rich, and the famous. His mission is to those who are struggling in life. To those who are blind, he will give sight. To those who are incarcerated, he will set free. He will lift up people's spirit. That's the whole teaching of the mission of Jesus, which is proclaimed first by his rejection. He's rejected because he wouldn't do something powerful, but he would be a humble servant. And the people were looking for a powerful Messiah here. It's a messianic statement when he reads from Isaiah the prophet, and he said, "This word is fulfilled in your presence." Now, I meant to kind of bring this into the present context by saying the word of Jesus is fulfilled in our presence. That the power of Jesus Christ is given and received only by those who are humble and those who are struggling. Not the powerful, not the people who have all the answers, but people who are searching, people who are empty, people who are struggling. This is the power of Jesus Christ. It's the mission of Jesus Christ. And you'll find, walk right through the gospel. This is in chapter 4. It's early in the Gospel of Luke. But go right through the Gospel of Luke and you will find this over and over again. However, he makes a statement about the importance of his mission when he sits down. He took the scroll of the prophet Isaiah, and then he sits down. The rabbi always sat when he was teaching. It's the origin of the chair of Peter, the teaching chair of Peter. It's the origin of our word cathedral. which comes from a Latin word cathedra, which is a chair. There's one cathedral in every diocese, and there's one chair at the cathedral which is reserved for the bishop, who is said to be the teacher for the people of the church of that diocese. So the rabbi, when he sits down, it's a sign of his power as a teacher. And his power as a teacher is not to overwhelm the people, but to call the people to care for those who are struggling. It's an amazing statement, and if you go through the Gospel of Luke, you'll find it over and over again. Chapter 10 in Luke, you've got the Good Samaritan. Chapter 15, you've got prodigal son. Remember the prodigal son? Read on in chapter 18, you've got the tax collector and the sinner, or the tax collector and the Pharisee going up to the temple, and the tax collector is preferred over the religious Pharisee. So as we journey through this day on Labor Day, we are called to be witnesses to those who are struggling. The small people of our society, the people who are overlooked, the people we are called to bless, to thank, and to carry in our prayers. These are the overlooked people who are not known. They're the laboring people in our communities who we just presumed are going to be there. They make our society livable. They make our way of life possible. So we'll keep a prayer for all those who are making our lives comfortable and fulfilling. We pause now for a moment of prayer.